Hey, this is Stacia, and I'm going to share a game that I played at the Parma Chess Club uh, in February of 2023. I played against Numan Abdulmajid, who is rated 1649 at the time of this game. Okay, so in this game, I started with e4, and he played c5, and I went d4. So I'm looking for a Smith-Morra Gambit. He did take c3, take, and knight takes. Okay, so now white has compensation for the pawn in form of more development and some open lines, easy development even. Okay, and just so you know, Newman is someone that has basically told me that the Smith-Morra Gambit is not a good opening, and he's telling me it's pretty easy to refute it, and so on and so forth. He hasn't said it recently, though, probably because he's realizing it is difficult to play against. But okay, in this game, he goes e6, I go knight to f3, and he played bishop to b4. So this is what I call the early pin variation. I think Mark Esserman calls it that as well. And there's this very interesting move we can play here. It's the move queen d4, which you've probably seen me play before if you watch my channel. But the point is, clearly we want to possibly, just put pressure on that bishop, encourage this capture, but also, attack g7 at the same time. So he did take the knight, and I think Esserman actually recommends queen takes here. And then after something like knight f6, just bishop d3, and says white is better here. I'll check the computer. It actually says black's better, but okay, maybe I'm wrong about this. Oh yeah, we have to go e5 first, maybe. Well, what if they go knight c6? I guess if they go knight c6, we take. That's not going to be good. Yeah, so this one, e5, I would think knight d5. Computer says queen c4. Okay, well, I'm not going to be playing it that way anyway. I really like this variation where I take back with a pawn. I know it looks a little weird, but this pawn is isolated and weak, yes, and we are down a pawn already. But look at our development, and look what black has done. They have taken their dark square bishop, moved it once, and then moved it again, giving it away. They had a c-pawn, they moved it once, captured a pawn, and now that's gone too. So the two pieces that they've invested the most time into are both gone from the board. And I like the fact that I have this idea of e5 followed by swinging the queen over here to attack the king side and especially the g7 square. So, okay, he decided to play a different move this game. I think last game, I think we've actually had 3 games in this line. The very first game, he played knight f6, which I think is probably the best move. And after e5, he went here, and I went queen g4. And in this position, he played g6 because of bishop h6 stuff. Then I told him after that game an improvement, which, yeah, why did I do that? No, actually, I think it's okay. I told him that after e5, he should just play knight c6. I mean, he gets a free tempo on my queen, and g4 isn't available. So here, in the second game, I played here first. Then he went knight d5, and then I went queen g3, and then he went g6, I believe. And we played a game from here. But this game, he came up with his own idea, and I wasn't sure if he had prepared this or what. He played the move queen f6, and I was kind of like, okay. Like, obviously, we don't want to take, because now we have a Smith-Morra. We're down a pawn, but we don't even have a queen to help us attack. And we just helped him develop as well. So obviously we're not going to take here. So I felt the move that has to be played here is e5. I just thought, I mean, I could move my queen away. I thought maybe this, but that also blocks my my bishop. So I thought e5 was probably the correct move, and I was expecting to see queen g6 here, just because it looks a little bit testing. I would love to play bishop d3. Then I was kind of wondering, what do I do here? Like, this doesn't look good, right? So how's the computer? Wow, white's still okay. What? Okay, this is insane. How can we be okay? King e2 is what the computer wants. Wow, is our development so good that we can just like sack the rook? Maybe. Okay, I would think he would take the rook. Am I crazy? Looks like a rook to me. Now it says queen d6 is like winning. Wow, this is fascinating. Yeah, I was not going to go into this, but apparently this is good for white, even though I'm down 7 points of material. Okay. So after queen d6, okay, if I'm black, what do I want to do? I mean, this is pinned. They could go here, but just move back out, right? Or is it not that simple? Is the queen possibly getting trapped? That's a question. Okay, let's say they develop like knight c6. Computer gives bishop a3. Oh my gosh, that is a cool move. Yeah, we're sacrificing both rooks because we just get checkmate here. Wow, that is cool. Okay, I'm definitely saving that line. That is cool stuff. Stuff I want to keep in my mind. Okay, anyway, I did not see that brilliant way of playing. But he didn't even go queen g6. After queen g6, I wasn't sure what to do. But Bob Basala, who is an expert, said bishop e2 looked interesting because he thought, here we get rook g1. So I like that too. That looks really good. And like, I don't know, can they really let me go crazy like this? Computer likes white. Okay, computer is off now. Let's analyze for ourselves. Queen d8 is what he chose. And, well, I just felt that queen d8 sort of misunderstands the position, right? That black is in. Black cannot go wasting more tempos at this point. They already are so behind in development. You've got to try to at least develop your pieces. And I thought queen g6 is at least a try. Seems like it's not good after all, but maybe white's just much better already. So, but queen d8 just can't be good. I mean, I got this e5 move in for free now. So I was even considering just queen g4 right away. Like, why not? But I thought, hey, let's go ahead and develop with bishop d3. I thought a knight c6, which was played. Now I can go queen g4. This is great. Yeah, I mean, he has to play g6, right? I don't see another move. Unless he wants to give up that pawn. So he did play g6. And I'm like, okay, why not just castle now? I don't think I have to go crazy. I don't see anything forcing here. Like, yes, I'm down a pawn, but look at black's development. I mean, there's only one piece developed. And look at the dark squares. The dark squares are so incredibly juicy. I'm like, hey, let's just develop from here. So I did. And he went queen a5. So I was kind of thinking he would play this move. It's part of the reason why I castled. Because, like, let's say I go bishop g5, which looks tempting. And then queen a5, though. And he's, like, attacking a bunch of stuff. And I don't know. I shouldn't allow this. I could probably castle here even. Probably could. What would happen if he took that? That's my one big concern. I guess I could take back. If he takes with a queen, we do get more tempos now. Yeah, you can't really move your queen around this much. when you're already so behind in development. So computer likes white. That's what I would expect too. Okay, so, but even still, like, why do I have to do that? Let's just castle. Okay, and then queen a5 anyway happened. So I decided to develop my bishop and protect the pawn. I bet you this is not even the best move. Let's think. What else could we do here? What could we do here? Can I go rook fe1? I thought this might be a mistake, because then he takes here and he's on the rook and the bishop. But again, he will be moving his queen around a lot. I'm going to ask the computer. Oh, it actually says black's better here. Okay, so that one we can't allow. So I'm glad I didn't allow it. But it wanted to play rook b1 here or bishop b2. Interesting. Rook b1. I think just to avoid that fork. I think that's what that is. We might even have something like rook b3 ideas and bring the rook over. Okay, but let's continue with the game. After queen a5, bishop f4. You know, I was thinking in my head, please take my pawn. Please take it. Because I just knew intuitively that you cannot just move your queen around every move. So, especially when there's such a huge lack of development. So he went ahead and took. So this shocked me, but it's too greedy, right? Just too greedy. So I just protect the bishop now. My rook's in the game. And now h5 he played. I really had a bad feeling about this move as well. I really think he just absolutely has to develop. Like, why not knight e7? I mean, it's probably too late, but computer I see wants d5 or f5. That seems crazy to me. But it still gives white a plus. So, yeah, after h5, I just went queen g5 because I was thinking now when he develops his knight, I can just sneak my queen in here. It'll be a tempo on the rook. Then my bishop can still come in. I can get in those dark squares. Knight g5 is possible. Lots of good stuff here. So knight g to e7. I did go queen f6. Okay, rook to g8. Yeah, and now here I thought for a little bit, not too long though, because I saw a very strong move. If you want to pause your video and see if you can find the move I played, go ahead and do so now. So you probably found it because it looks good on the surface and it's good for deeper reasons too. So the move is knight g5, exclam. I think this just wins the game. Probably other moves are really good too. Let's see what the computer says. Computer likes this first, followed by knight g5 as well. But yeah, knight g5 is the idea. The idea is this. Yeah, we're getting in d6. That's going to be check. The bishop can come to h6. I mean, I think it's just going to be checkmate unless he sacks his queen. That's what I thought. So after this move, I did see he had knight d8 protecting. But my idea now was knight to e4. That does attack the queen, but it also threatens to play knight d6 check. So we get that here, and now check. And yeah, this is it. You know, he resigned in this position, but it's forced mate. There's checkmate. So this was the game. So yeah, my opponent, he just neglected his development too much and he got too greedy. Taking the first pawn is, of course, probably the best way to play against the Morra. And after that, though, this is his first major mistake, I would say, even though queen f6 is a mistake because queen g6 stuff doesn't actually work. But queen d8's just not good at all. You can't just move your queen around. Got to develop your pieces, right? That's why knight f6 is the best move. And then, okay, knight c6 is good, but then what does he do? g6 is forced, so I can't fault him there. Then he moves his queen again. So you've got to start developing your pieces here. I guess maybe he didn't want this pin. I don't blame him. I mean, this already looks really bad. Honestly, this does look really bad already. I mean, if he castles, we could put pressure on the pin knight. That looks really good. If he defends like this, maybe we just put the bishop in. We're already going to do this stuff. There's no knight f5 because we take it. Yeah, so it was right out of the opening that he got a much worse position. And then to grab a pawn, that's just like, yeah, that's just way too far. And so let's just call this, let's chalk this up as my opponent was too greedy and moved his queen around a little too much, actually way too much. And so we got sort of an easy win this time, but I'm sure he's a good player. So I'm a little surprised he made these like violations of principle, but I'm sure he's going to come back, and there will be some more as I lose against him as well, but I'm looking forward. So, okay, that's all. I'll be back with more chess. Okay, bye.